Welcome. We're back again, round number 2. We're thrilled with the guest we have today. And I'm going to let Tim, Steve, and the Tim show. So I'll let Tim introduce our guest. But I want to start out by just a real quick intro on how I came to know our guest. And really, it's in the same theme I've talked about earlier. It's about those that inspire us, and how we can become those that inspire others. For me, I'll let Tim tell you his side, but for me, that's where I'm at. That's my story. And Matt, our guest today, is someone that's inspired me online, and we've all, this is our meeting. You know, we've met online and haven't met in person, but I've really appreciated and enjoyed Matt's presence and personality and engagement on his LinkedIn profile, and it has been inspiring, and I can see that he inspires others. So
absolutely,
I think all three of us would agree that at some point this thing goes off, and if you have ever been inspired, there somehow is this spark of wanting to inspire others. And I don't know how, quantum physics, man, I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, so what we're trying to do here is just inspire others. And so anyway, Tim, go ahead. That's bring our guest in.
No, that's great. Yeah, well, no, I'd like to introduce Matt Francis. Matt, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. We're excited to have you. And we wanted to sort of, first, I can summarize a little bit, but we wanted to kind of tell everyone how we were first attracted to you. And it was all via LinkedIn, right? I think you and I, maybe Steve, I think we both connected with you this past year. And it was through the AI algorithms. It's networking at its finest online, but you're also started coming up in my feed, and it was all about your posts. Your posts were, they're very thoughtful. They're well organized. There was you contribute to observations of various people or the world or experiences. You expressed appreciation. There was gratitude. You were very inclusive, and you still are very inclusive about calling other people into the conversation. Do various graphical tactics too, with the little emojis, which is brilliant. You're posing questions, kind of just general questions to the audience, and promoting others. And it was a quality that you're doing. You were talking about data science as well, but it was kind of done technically and methodically, but in a way that the layperson can understand. And actually, that's quite a bit of talent, because there's a lot of folks posting technical content about their detailed analysis or whatever, and that just I don't think that appeals to everyone. So you appealed to more than just oil and gas industry. I think you have something like 7,500 followers, thousands of followers. It sounds it's amazing, it's impressive. But so you're a geologist. You got your bachelor's, master's in geology. You sort of went entered into the oil and gas business with ConocoPhillips. You got laid off, and what resonated with me is that you got laid off just about 2 weeks before I did, looking back on history. So you've actually been out of the oil and gas, direct operator for the same amount of time I have. And what we're kind of, looking to learn is how the past year went with you, how you have transitioned now to data science. And it's impressive because you don't even work for an oil company anymore. And I think that's where a lot of that's where a lot of people are going. They have gone, or they will go. And this is, you are a leader. So we'll get into a little bit more of the details, but I mean, you've done great so far. We're stoked to have you on the show. But I think to kind of a little bit of icebreaker for you is Steve and I are music guys. We're from different generations, but there is crossover, of music. And we want to start out, are you a music fan? And if so, what's been your most favorite music experience, or are you a concert goer? What's your favorite concert you've been to, or the first concert you've been to?
Oh man. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on. It's a pleasure. I enjoy telling my story on LinkedIn. I've done a couple of podcasts before, but I always appreciate another avenue, another outlet to share what I know and how I've gone about doing the things I've done in my personal life and my career. My I don't know if it's my favorite, but the top concert experience was a Fish concert
Ooh,
You're a
in
fisher.
college.
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been a few, I think. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, exactly. You think. Uh,
Look, dude, you're talking to a deadhead. You know
Right,
that.
right.
So
yeah, yeah,
we're a parallel universe, just a
yeah.
little time shift.
Well, the thing is, so I'm short, and I couldn't see. It was standing room only, so I couldn't see anything. I just the back of everybody's heads and backs, and it was like, so I was just grooving to the music. I didn't even know they were up on the stage.
Wow.
Right, right.
Nice.
What,
Nice.
do you remember where that was at and like where you saw that
Yeah,
show?
that was at some outdoor. I think it was like some soccer
Wow.
field
Wow.
outside Chicago somewhere.
Right,
Wow.
right.
That's
Okay.
cool. Funny thing, just real quick, with that background, we're talking about that background earlier, and
Yeah.
to tie it into the music for me, it's the Dead, right? I mean, I was the Dead, and one of the best concerts ever was in Telluride. They played Telluride back in the early 80s, 82,
Right.
84, I can't remember. And wow, 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 wow. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
Awesome.
So thank you so much. So let's go.
That's
Let's
great.
do this, man. So tell us a little bit about what this last year has been. Okay, whatever. Since this transition, whenever you started the transition, where you're at now. I mean, how's that been, and how's that? What were you like then, and where you're at now, and how has that whole change? Everything changed.
Yeah, I mean, so you guys covered like the big points. So yeah, I was a geologist. I studied geology in school, bachelor's and master's in it.
Hmm.
Uh, Went to ConocoPhillips, was working there on some global exploration and development projects.
Hmm.
Laid off in 2018,
Okay.
and couldn't get back into it as a geologist. So not specifically to transition into data science and be a full-time data scientist, but I looked to fill my time to skill up and learn skills that might benefit myself as a geologist. I started
Mhm.
learning data science, brushed off some programming knowledge, started diving into learning Python, eventually
Hmm.
enrolled in an online boot camp to learn data science. And
And let me break in. So did you
yeah,
did you do that because were you drawn to that because? And I was going to ask you about the geology. I mean, does that stuff start as a kid? I mean, or were you the guy building the forts? I have a son that's an aerospace engineer, and it's like now I realize, yeah, he was from an early age. He
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so when you think about your shift or your refocus into data science, was that obvious now when you look at the longer trajectory, or was it something you did because that just you had to make that shift?
the the geology I can trace back into my childhood a bit.
Wow.
Um, I always loved going to the mountains. So we did I don't know how many, 5, 6 trips. So I grew up in Wisconsin, but we took like 5 or 6 trips,
Hmm.
summer vacations into the
Gotcha.
Rocky Mountains.
Wow.
And I was always interested in like, I don't know, mountains and that kind of transition into rocks and learning about the earth.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that light switch didn't click until I was in undergrad and I was
Hmm.
taking geology 101. I was like, I was taking it with one of my friends, and he couldn't have cared less about the damn field. He was like, "This is stupid." And I'm like, but I was the complete opposite, and I was like loving it. And I at the
Wow.
end of the semester, it was spring semester. At the end of the semester, I was like, "Oh man, I have to wait like 3 months. I got to wait the whole
Wow.
summer to keep learning
Wow.
this."
Hooked.
Right.
Yeah, so that's when like
Cool.
I connected the back to the childhood and connected with rocks and
Sure.
earth studies. Um,
And you still connect. Look at your background.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah. Perfect,
Well,
perfect, perfect. Yeah.
once you're a geologist, you're always a
Yeah,
geologist. So
it's okay. That's I
when,
was
Yeah,
kind of fishing for that. So there
yeah,
we
yeah.
go.
yeah, we're
So
all geologists here, so it's going to be a fun time here.
there you go. Yeah, but and then the transition to data science was not that much of a light switch.
Hmm.
It was me slowly studying. I mean, it felt slow, but in the span of me studying data science for 6 months, it was like, okay, you know what? I actually like this. This has the scientific and analytical qualities
Interesting.
of a geologist of a
Hmm.
scientific field. Um,
And you were
and
able to
and
connect it to the geology. You were still able to somehow connect it to the geology, so you maintain that passion stream, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's not thinking about rocks, not thinking about mountain building or basin
Different
analysis, but
way, different. Yeah.
it's analytical thinking.
Hmm.
And so that's what drew me into the field of data science, and I started, actually pondering the fact if I could make a full pivot, um,
Hmm.
and become a data scientist in job title. And it turned out that was that was a much easier path for me to pursue than
Hmm.
geology at the time, or at least
Yeah.
Yeah.
it there were many more openings in data science than geology.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I mean, that was the future. If you project out, what do we do? We do trends, right? And you
Yep.
project that out.
yeah.
It's like, wow, this thing of looking at the rocks. As much as I love it, and I love kicking them and collecting them as a kid on the roadside, but there is a reality tangent that crosses in at some
Yeah.
point, and
Yeah. Well, I think too is that because of when we started the transition, now you're on the front of the wave, right? You're in it. You're in the thick of it.
yeah,
A
timing.
lot of geos, a lot of engineers are kind of following in suit. But that's what makes you a first mover, first leader. So,
So let me ask
Yeah.
this. Let me
Yeah.
ask this. So okay, let's get into your use, if you will, of LinkedIn, or
yeah.
how let's talk about that experience, because now that's your voice. That's the voice we all have, is a global voice. It's amazing. And it's the devil and it's heaven. You know what I mean? It can be either way, but you use it for very good. And I saw your post this morning, the Friday posts. I mean, it's like, man,
Hmm.
you're such a scientist the way you post. You know what I mean? It's like you're really the methodical, the consistent, the very focused. And you can just see that it again inspires and resonates with people. So how'd you get there? I mean, did tell us?
Yeah, well, so it's tied up in my job searching story as well. I mean, I I, I think I started my LinkedIn profile like when I became a geologist out of grad school, but it was
Okay.
just like, hey, this is just an online resume. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
using it for networking. I know these people. I've worked with them. Small small network, wasn't posting anything.
No, that's a good question too. What did network look like for you then, and what does network look like for you now? So
Yeah,
yeah, okay, great point,
completely
great
different.
point.
Completely
Completely
different.
different.
So my kind of big shots start to LinkedIn and being, I guess, an influencer, as
Yes,
I've now been called
totally
publicly
embrace
to
it,
my
man.
face.
Embrace it. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so that started when I actually got my data scientist job, when I landed that
Hmm.
after being being laid off and unemployed for what, 11 months. So
Interesting.
Right. Right.
Give us a
I
date. Give me a date for that. Put a pin in the map there.
that was I probably made that post July of 2019, and I was
Holy
laid off
cow. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Last year,
September of 2018.
coming up
So
on
you
2 years.
you
Okay, a
you
year and a half. Okay, okay. Interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, you wrote an article that was on LinkedIn. It was how I transitioned. It was August of
Yes.
2019. Was that part of it?
Yeah, so I guess that would
Yeah.
have been like a week or 2 weeks after this first post, when I made dropped the bomb that I finally found a job. I think
Yeah.
that was like the lead the lead
Huh.
sentence in the post. That post went completely globally viral for some
Wow.
unknown
Yeah, that was a
reason.
great read. It still
Wow,
is.
wow,
Yeah,
wow.
It's a
Okay,
so
wait
great
a minute,
read.
wait a minute. How many followers did you have at that point? Do you remember?
Mm.
uh,
What do you have now? What do you?
couple. Right now, I've got like 7,500 followers, but
Mm.
at
Wow,
that point in time, it was maybe 500, probably not even.
wow. Okay, interesting.
So that job announcement post got seen by like over 2 million people.
Wow.
I think it's got like 20,000 reactions, if I'm not mistaken,
You're
like
kidding me.
multiple
Wow.
thousand comments. I don't know, but
It's amazing.
so that was
So
seen
why,
by.
why? How did you? So how much of that was organic, or I don't know how you
I,
actually say it, but and how much did you engineer that with? Well, how did you make that? How did that happen?
well, so I don't think you can engineer a viral moment. You can make a
No.
good guess. I wasn't intending to make a viral moment with it. I was intending to, celebrate
Wow.
my job search
Yeah.
Wow.
make a statement for how long and how hard it was to,
Mm-hmm.
find another job and celebrate that moment. And I think
Man.
everybody kind of resonated with lots of people.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's fantastic. Wow, that's amazing.
So yeah, so that was like the initial seed. I mean, that alone had, I don't know, I was getting one LinkedIn request every minute for like 3 days, and it
It's
slowed off, but
incredible.
it was like a 2 week period where I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Wow, that is
Um,
amazing. Amazing. Okay.
yeah. So that's like a big bang moment, right? Um, and then I think over the next 6 9 months, I posted just a few more times.
Oh,
Each one
interesting.
did pretty good, but
Hmm.
nothing spectacular. But I always saw the most conversation, the most engagement with my posts when I was looking to share my knowledge and help people and educate people on the steps I took to get where I was.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and
Well,
and
and that's it.
that's
That's
kind
it.
of
I mean, what
yeah,
and what do you get back from that? See, that's exactly the key. It's like
yeah,
it's the old how's that feel when you have the
Mm.
ability and you are helping thousands, or hundreds or tens or one guy, I mean, it's
yeah,
like, wow, right?
yeah. I mean, it's changed my my view on lots of different components of
Wow.
myself. So I have to right now when I post and I try to share content and share my thoughts and engage with people, I definitely have to think of myself and hold myself to a higher standard than I was
Mm-hmm.
previously.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
and you're doing it daily now. So I mean, your mind's always kind of going about this and on how to do something new and organic, right?
yeah, and I get the most engagement with my posts when I'm trying to be helpful and bring people along with my journey, with my progress through whether it's my learning data science, whether it's consoling people about being laid off, whether it's
Yeah.
The physical,
posting.
the
Yeah,
physical, I mean, the riding the bike or the running, or
yeah,
I know you post on that,
yeah.
or the
So I mean,
mental. You've called me in on the thought, the whole mindset game.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's when I feel the most helpful, and it feels good to have so many people come to me, uh, look at my post, read my post, engage
Yeah,
with me on those whatever topic it is. If it's
yeah,
running, if it's data science, whatever it is, it's great to be um, to have people come to you and have yourself seen as something that you don't see in yourself, because before this I didn't I liked having a technical mentor at work or somebody I could go to for advice, but I didn't really appreciate just how much, that person would get back and how much they got out of it. Um,
Mhm.
and it does change you, and it makes you a better person, and makes you more self-aware, and
Yeah.
helps
Yeah.
you frame what it is you're doing, and the direction you're going.
And helps you figure out where your piece fits in the puzzle. You know what I mean? It's like how that's the whole being inspirational, man. Exactly. It's like, wow, how can I feel so much gratitude that I had these people in my life. So how can I respond in kind? And what you realize real quick as soon as you do that is it is the old it's better to give than to receive. There's that little piece that immediately comes back and you think, wow, I didn't really do that necessarily so I would feel good, but I feel great that I did that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's the kind of the
Yeah.
perpetual motion machine, really. So, wow, that's fantastic, man. So
Well,
was there a point where you really, okay, so, what's interesting about what you just said is you also now have to hold yourself to a higher standard because of the voice you have, the message you really have to be thinking about what message do I want to present, and that's that whole being held to a higher standard.
Yeah. And I'm just like starting to soak in that bathtub of self-enlightenment, if you will.
Yeah.
So I've got nothing concrete to say about that yet.
no,
No,
that's
and
good.
and
It
so
shows you're
yeah.
human. You're human,
Yeah.
dude. And that's what
Yeah.
people love to see. They don't want to see. That's just that's what's popular right now, but that's what resonates with the majority of the
it's
crowd.
always it's always the personal stories that sell,
Yeah,
man, because you
yeah,
you know why?
yeah.
Because you connect with somebody emotionally, and if you're connected emotionally, man, I'm going to follow along. I mean, it's like once you connect with people below the surface and the
Mm-hmm.
story really has like, wow, I know exactly how that feels, I know
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
exactly where he's at, then it's like Katie bar the door, man. And yeah, that's the power of the emotional connection, just plain and simple, and the
Yeah.
power's on both ends, right? Now it's like, well, now these people I'm an influencer. What's influencer mean? That means I have influence over a lot of people, so I will
Mm-hmm.
take that. Now it's just that you can influence that many people, and really you start thinking about
Yeah.
exactly the holistic, man. You were talking earlier about the different pieces. No, it's the holistic. It's the story. It's
Yeah.
part your running, part your health, part your mental health, part what you had to do to make things happen. So it's a whole thing, and it's a great representation, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna derail the conversation here. That I want to dig into that influencer uh, tag,
Cool.
and so yeah, just last week was the first time somebody besides my dad had called me an influencer. And it was like somebody that I'd been uh, talking with and chatting with on LinkedIn. We finally connected and did a Zoom call. Um, and he sort of said it off the cuff. And I was like, no, I'm not an influencer. I'm just some random guy
Mm.
who's just sharing,
Yeah.
what happens in my in my life. And it's like I don't I'm not sitting here trying to think about like motivational quotes every hour of the day
Mm-hmm.
and do that. I'm not sitting here trying to ensure that people are
Yeah.
being procrastinating less.
Mm-hmm.
What but like that's like my vision of what an influencer is like they've got one niche, one thing. Okay, I gotta post another motivational quote here today. and
Mm-hmm.
and and I think so that's like the negative connotation in my mind and in a lot of people's minds, like just spewing lots of not
Sure.
garbage but
Sure.
general advice that doesn't have a lot of meat to it.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
but the more I think about it, I mean, I definitively have influenced people's lives. I get DMs on LinkedIn, and I engage with people. I share, how they can start learning data science. And now that I've been uh, a professional data scientist for
Mhm.
coming up on 2 years now, people are coming back to me, like sharing that they've graduated from
Wow.
the same online boot camp that I recommended to them, 6, 8, 9 months ago, whatever it is. And it's like, wow, I mean, that person probably would have done something with their life, but like I
You
influenced them
you
to
influence,
make that
you
decision.
influence. If you
Yeah.
And
influence, guess what?
yeah,
You're an influencer. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
again, whether you influence one or 10,000. So that's
Yeah. So
fantastic, man.
I think of myself as like not a capital I influencer, but like a small I influencer where I'm impacting people's lives and I'm sharing what I've done for them or what I've done for myself and giving and then giving them guidance. And if they choose to take that and make a make a change in their life, then I've influenced them and I can't walk away from that. But
Yeah.
it's a surprisingly, I I don't want to say that it's a heavy title, but it's
Good.
it's got weight to it,
It has
and
weight.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Well,
No,
you're a catalyst to that moment of inspiration in those people's lives. That all of a sudden, hey, well, maybe you should go do this, and then they go do it, and then it's like they come back full circle, and that's fantastic.
no, and I
yeah,
would say it shows your integrity that you do take
Absolutely.
this seriously because look, if you're influencing, you could influence to bad, you could influence to good. You know what I mean? So it could be influencing ain't always positive, as which is your bias. I'm going to call that your cognitive bias on being even
Mm.
called an influencer. Listen to yourself. I do with the small I. I say with the big I, man, because you're influencing for good. So why do you diminish? You know what I mean? Because we do
yeah.
that. We have this image of I don't, whoever out there that's like not necessarily the good whatever.
You almost
I
said
should.
it.
We'll have to
You
cut
almost
that
said
out.
it.
Cut that out.
Okay.
I don't need any lawsuits at this point.
Right.
Anyway, no, man, good for you. Good for you. Hey, listen. Wow. What else? What else? How? Let's see. How would we want to end? We got a little funny
Yeah.
thing at the end. Same deal. Like I said, try to embarrass the two of us. We'll see if he can do it. But what else would you add, man? What else? Where are you going now? So you have seen. You have become little I or big I. You have become an influencer, and you see the gravity of carrying that name tag now. So how does that move you to move forward? I mean, does that somehow shift suddenly that maybe you wanted to be the top data scientist in GE, and now it's like, wow, that's kind of shifted that to somewhere else? Or what's that do? How does that shift where you want to go? Or does it?
uh, I don't think it shifts where I want to go. I think it definitely shifts how I go there, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Okay. Hmm.
I think I think I think the biggest thing I've learned um, is that by sharing my thoughts, and now I'm doing it daily. So I'm trying to post every business day on
Wow.
LinkedIn, at least for this year, and then we'll see. But just the kind of the diversity of content that I see from others on LinkedIn, and then what I want to share. I'm thinking I'm my content is not necessarily always focused on the other person. S At least part of the time, I'm talking to myself and trying to make
Oh,
myself better, and doing self improvement and saying, "Hey, stop being so damn lazy and
Mm-hmm.
do this. Dedicate
interesting.
yourself to goals. Set up some systems
Yep.
to make yourself actionable and accountable for achieving something." So part of this is me sharing my life and my goals with others to influence myself to become better, and I think that's forcing myself to make changes
Hmm.
in my behavior and my actions, and is
Mhm.
hopefully allowing myself to get better and go where I want to go faster.
It's a great
Yeah.
way to do it. It's just a
Nice.
fantastic way to do it. I
Yeah,
think
that's
because
perfect.
it sort of, it puts you right. It kind of does kind of like if you're working for a big company, you put your goals on for the year and you can do a mid-year checkup and stuff. It's almost as if you're sort of documenting this for yourself. And so it kind of makes, I don't know whether you know it or not, but it kind of makes you a little bit of accountable. Um, and then it motivates others to sort of do the same. Wow, actually,
Yep.
maybe I can run, he's running, maybe I can run faster than him, or who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I think
mean,
also
yeah.
the other piece is that you're showing people the possibilities. I had a conversation
Nice.
with a
Yeah.
visionary leadership coach, and we talked about inspiring. I was saying I love, I have certain people in my life that really inspired me. They shifted my course. They shifted my course. And so and he said the thing with inspiring is you're just showing others that it's possible. You're showing others a possibility. You're giving others hope that there are possibilities. And what is the value of hope, my friend? Really, I'm lucky enough. I've never really struggled too much with hopelessness. But I think that's what we want to show, that no, it's possible. There are possibilities out here, and it's inspiring people. So right on, man. So that's good. Well, congratulations on the move to GE. It sounds fantastic. I continue.
General Mills.
Or General Mills. Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. I was saying
one of those other G.
Yeah, one of the big
words.
G's,
Yeah.
I love their cereal.
General Mills.
Yes.
No, I loved your post on the equality piece, man. The gender equality, man. It's good. We're horrible. I mean, really, not to call anybody out, but when we got into the Black Lives Movement, I looked around. I thought, man, we're not very inclusive. Now, I don't know why that is. I'm not blaming anybody, but maybe geology. I don't know what it is, but so there's a lot of progress that needs to be made, and sometimes you get locked in. So that was a great post to see that. Okay,
absolutely,
it is being made. Progress is being made. So
yeah.
All right, Tim, let's do, man. What's the mystery question? What do we got?
Yeah. Okay. So this is it's probably it's more of I've ran this through Steve once before, but it'll be different. So I think I saw this on a posting on another social platform, but we're gonna figure out, maybe you've seen it or not, but if you grew up maybe in the UK, what would your royal name be?
Oh.
And then, so I'm gonna start with Steve.
Okay.
And there's sort of there's four parts of it. Right. So the first one, you're either Lord or Lady. So you guys are both lords, obviously.
Okay.
Okay. So Steve, it's the name of your pet. What's your pet's name?
Sam. Samuel.
Samuel? Are you on Samuel? Okay.
Well, it depends. We'll see.
What was the last thing you ate?
Got to think about that one. What's the last thing I ate? Almonds.
And then what's the name of the last place you shopped at?
Safeway.
So your name is Lord Samuel Almonds of Safeway.
All right.
It's all right. All right.
I could have
Where
spiced
did
that
I
up.
last shop at, though?
What's your pet's name?
Yeah. So don't have a pet. Our old pet's name was Monster the cat.
Perfect. No, that's me too. Sam was my pet as a child.
All right. What's the last thing you ate?
It was a kale chicken salad.
Dang, man. Right on. Good for you.
And what's the last place? What's the last place you shopped at?
I think it was Lowe's.
There you go.
Monster Kale of Lowe's. Lord Monster Kale of Lowe's.
Lord Monster Kale Chicken Salad of Lowe's.
There we go.
It's a broad part. Okay. It's a weird part of the UK, I think, undiscovered islands. So.
Well, I guess that's better than when did you lose your virginity? Weren't you thinking about that question at one point?
Well, that's on the list. I didn't think he was the right candidate. So.
All right, man. Hey, Matt. congrats again on General Mills and everything that's going on, and keep posting. I know you will. Keep inspiring, keep showing us all the possibilities, and we really appreciate you doing this. And Tim will be really churning through it, and we'll be in touch and let you know how things go, and keep on, brother.
Cool. It was fun chatting with you about you know, the internalization of what I'm actually showing to the world. It's
Awesome.
it's difficult to do sometimes, and I don't take enough time to look inside. I know I tease at it, I pull strings on myself with my posts, but it's great to chat with some guys and to share it more broadly.
Yeah.
That's nice, man. And the nice thing is you're doing it. You don't need to know how it's doing it. But I know as I do the same thing, it's like, wow, why do I do that? I wonder. And I want to get in there just like you do and figure it out. But the beauty is we're having this today is because it's it's authentic. It's that piece we talked about. You're very authentic, and that's what resonates really. And these are just, we'll figure out the whys and wherefores and everything else at another day, but keep doing what you're doing, man.
Great.
Totally.
You guys too. It's awesome. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah, we'll catch up again. Let's do this again. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
All right, Matt. See you later, man.